You have a drawer, or maybe it's a shelf, or a corner of your room. It has a guitar you haven't touched in 4 months, a half-finished online course, a sketchbook with 3 pages used, and a brand new set of language flashcards you bought last Tuesday for a language you have already forgotten you wanted to learn. And every time you look at it, you feel the same thing: shame. They told you it was a focus problem, maybe even an ADHD problem, that your brain just couldn't commit. But what if that's completely wrong? What if your brain isn't broken? What if it's just running a completely different operating system than the one society designed school and careers for? Today, we are going to look at what neuroscience actually says about people like you. We will cover what is genuinely happening in your brain when you jump between interests, why the ADHD label often misses the point entirely, and the one framework that will help you stop fighting your brain and start using it. By the end of this video, you are going to have a name for what you are, and that name is going to change how you see yourself. For the last 100 years, the education system and the job market were built around one type of brain: the brain that picks a lane and stays in it, the brain that chooses a subject in school and goes deep, the brain that builds a 30-year career in one field. That brain was rewarded. It got the grades, the promotions, the respect. And brains like yours, they got a label: scattered, unfocused, lacking discipline, and worst of all, the one that really stings, potential wasted. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The education system was never designed to understand your brain. It was designed to produce specialists for an industrial economy, and you were measured against a standard that was never built for you. But here's what they never told you. Neuroscience has been quietly building a case that the brain that jumps between interests is not malfunctioning. It is optimizing for something the specialist brain simply cannot do. And that something is becoming the most valuable cognitive skill of the 21st century. But here's where the neuroscience gets genuinely strange, and this is the part most people never hear. Neuroscientists call it the Exploration-Exploitation Tradeoff. Every brain has to make a constant decision. Do I exploit what I already know, or do I explore something new? The specialist brain is wired to exploit. It goes deep into what it knows. It gets better and better at one thing. That's incredibly valuable. But your brain is wired to explore. It scans the environment for new information. It gets bored when a skill is mastered. It moves on, not because it's weak, because it's following a different neurological instruction. Here's what's actually happening when you jump to a new interest. Your brain releases dopamine, not when you master something, but when you encounter something new, and your brain calculates that it might be worth learning. This is called novelty-induced dopamine release, and in some brains, this system is significantly more sensitive. The dopamine hit from a brand new skill is larger, which means the pull toward new things is neurologically stronger. It is not a character flaw, it's a neurochemical reality. Researchers at University College London found that people with high novelty-seeking traits show greater activation in the midbrain dopamine system when exposed to new stimuli. Your brain is not distracted. It is chemically rewarded for exploration in a way that other brains simply are not. Leonardo da Vinci was an anatomist, a painter, a musician, a geologist, an engineer, and a botanist. His notebooks jump between dissecting human corpses and designing flying machines in the same afternoon. For centuries, people called him scattered, undisciplined, a man who could never finish what he started. Today, we call him one of the greatest minds in human history, not despite the jumping, because of it. His ability to pull insights from anatomy into painting, from engineering into architecture, that is the direct product of an exploration-wired brain. This is why you can't stick to one thing. Your brain is not broken. It is running an exploration protocol. And in a world where the rules change every 5 years, where entire industries are being rebuilt from scratch, where the most valuable skill is connecting dots across fields, your brain is not the problem. It is the answer. Now here's the part nobody talks about, and this is where most people make the biggest mistake. There's a woman named Emilie Wapnick.
She spent her 20s moving between law, music, film, and web design. Every time she got good at something, the interest faded and she moved on. Her family was concerned. Her friends thought she was running from commitment. She started to believe them. Then she started researching. She found that she wasn't alone. She found the neuroscience. She found that people like her had a name. She called them multipotentialites, people whose brains are genuinely wired for breadth, not depth. She gave a TED Talk about it. It's been watched over 20 million times. Not because she finally picked one thing, but because she finally understood that her brain was never the problem. The story she had been told about her brain was the problem. When she understood that, the shame stopped, and everything she had built across all those so-called failed interests became the foundation of something no specialist could have built. If that felt uncomfortably familiar, good, because this next part is exactly what changes things. So how do you actually work with an exploration brain instead of against it? There are 3 things that change everything. I call this the operating system reset. Step 1. Audit your interests. Don't abandon them. Most people with exploration brains treat their past interests like failures. They are not. They are data. Open a simple Notion or Google Doc right now and list every interest you have ever gone deep on. Music, coding, cooking, photography, whatever they are. Write them all down. Now look for the underlying pattern. What skills transferred? What did they all have in common? You'll almost always find a hidden thread. That thread is your actual value. Step 2. Use seasons, not lifetime commitments. Your brain is not built for a 40-year career in one field. It's built for seasons. Give yourself 6 to 12 months with one interest. Go deep. Master the core 80%. Then give yourself permission to move on consciously. This is not quitting. Quitting is running from difficulty. This is graduating. You decide when the season ends. Not your boredom, not your shame. You. Step 3. Build the bridge. The most valuable thing your brain can do is connect 2 fields that nobody else has connected. Your job is not to pick one pillar and go deep forever. It's to build enough pillars that you become the bridge between worlds. A data scientist who also understands music. A therapist who also understands product design. These combinations are rare. Rare is valuable. Your job is to embrace the combination, not apologize for it. You were never unfocused. You were never lacking discipline. You were running an operating system that the world did not have an instruction manual for. But now you have the neuroscience, you have the name, and you have the framework. Drop a comment below and tell me one interest you think is actually worth picking back up. I read every single one. And if this video made something click, the next one is going to hit even harder. We're going to talk about why people with too many interests are actually more resilient in a crisis than any specialist. I'll see you there.